So we're saying that, speaking about worlds, klolos or elements, on the world level. So there, atzilus is called odom asiyah. And thus, there is odom tzura, that is superior, and then there is definitely odom briah, which is yet superior. But that's, okay, I'm sorry, we are below the middle of the page, AyinBase 9. The line starts from odom briah. Das lenovein nokol, which means for a novein, for an understanding person, it is easy to know the following. Shekasher ha'odom asiyah hagashmi. That when we say that odom asiyah hagashmi, the asiyah, our level of asiyah, Nasa b'tzelem Elokim, that he was made b'tzelem Elokim. She'odom asiyah ruchnis. So then, when you say odom asiyah ruchnis, which is hainu b'chinas kimari odom atzilus, Obechinas Adam di tzura di klolis. And then we have the Adam di tzura di klolis. Shenetzlu b'tzelem Elokim. So just if we say that Adam da asiyah gashmi is netzel b'tzelem Elokim, then when you go upwards, you talk about klolos or elements, the asiyah ruchnis, that they are clearly the b'tzelem Elokim. So that's the b'tzelem Elokim. Bechinas odom the briah the klolis, clearly that they are reflective of the odom the tzura the klolis and odom the briah the klolis. Bechinas odom briah the klolis bechinas ak, bechinas odom kadmon. That's when we started talking about odom kadmon. Odom kadmon, this is kadmon. Kadmon means this is before creation. And the word kadmon means that it didn't come into being. It was not created. It is inherently a present, a truth. So if we say that Odom asiyah hagashmis is nasa b'tzelem Elokim, when you go up, we talk about Odom asiyah ruchnis. The Odom, the klolis, the Odom, the atzilus. He there. Clearly, it was done. It was Odom is b'tzelem Elokim, b'tzelem of Odom, Odom the tzura the klolis and Odom the briah the klolis, which is Odom the ak, bechinas Odom kadmon. One more line, and then we'll just. You seem to be a little bit repetitive. B'kol zehu b'bchinas Odom da asiyah v'yitziro shekodom lohem. בבחינת אדם, אז asiyah ויצירה שקודם להם בחינת אדם. אדם asiyah and Adam the tzura, kodam lohem bechinas Adam. There was a bechina Adam that preceded them. Hainu bechinas Adam kadmon shehem betzal loy. The Adam the asiyah and Adam the tzura were preceded by an element of a general union of Adam. And what is the Adam that precedes them? This is Adam kadmon shehem betzal loy, and they are betzalim of Adam kadmon. What we are saying is the aim is to point out that Adam, if Adam here lamato is betzelem, Adam lamayla is betzelem, and ultimately what are the betzelem of? What is the ultimate Adam that they represent? The ultimate they represent is an Adam that is not even a creation. It's called Adam kadmon. This Adam kadmon is something which is, as we said, this is the union of tzura atzmis. That's what it's called kadmon. As we started saying before, that Adam and kadmon are a contradiction, combining two terms that are really saying two opposite things. And yet, this is the original Adam, the Adam kadmon. The principle that there is such a thing as tzura atzmi, as we started in the beginning of this is. The principle of tzura atzmi is that this is the tzura shalikodam tzura acheres. That is the tzura rishena. Which means that this is the that which is completely above tzura, that which is without any design at all. It is the elikus, purely elikus. What is purely elikus? Again, to remind ourselves, mo tzuri. Motzui Rishon means something that it was not preceded by a Motzui. It's extremely difficult for us to focus in on this concept, on this principle. The only way that we can actually focus in on the principle of Motzei Rishon, is what we've been discussing the whole time. That Hashpo Pnimis, like a Rav, is Mashpia Talmud. Even though the Talmud understands the Seichel on his own, but it's not, it does not originate with him. Where does it originate? It originates with his Rav. What originates with his Rav? His understanding does not originate with his Rav. His understanding is in him. But the reality of this Seichel originates with the Rav.
The reality?
The reality of this
What do we say? We say the catalyst.
Huh?
The catalyst. The reality is within him. The Rav is like a catalyst.
The catalyst is what? That which initiates it. The initial inyan, this is what gives it reality. Like we said, this was what Rebbe said, that he saw his teacher when he gave the shir, and that opened his mind, and that made him understand totally differently than his chaverim who did not see it. What's in us? Let me try to focus in on this. We spoke many times that a sight, chochmah and a sight, what that sight actually truly relate to. We say that if sight were to relate to the space that it sees, it could not condense everything in one instant. If the reality of sight consists of the fact that I see it, so then I would have to accumulate all the miles individually and say, oh yeah, I see this, oh yeah, I see this, I see this. That couldn't be condensed into one instant. What is it that gives sight this sense of absolute reality, beyond even touch, without anything else? It is actually the fact that sight relates you, shows you that there is an absolute source of this which you see. There's a truth behind it. And this which you see is only a manifestation of it. But what are you looking at? You're looking at the truth behind it. And that's why you can see it in one instant. This is what chochmah is. This truth that's behind it. Okay, see if you can follow this. It's concealed, you don't see it physically. What relates you to it? What relates you to it is this. You see whatever you see. And you see it without effort, effortlessly. Since you see it effortlessly, therefore it means that there is something that presents it to you. I didn't have to look for it. It came to me. This presentor, that is what makes it real. This is what it means to see the Rav when he's giving the shir. And as we said before, okay, please, that the Rav when he gives a shir, I'm talking about a real Rav, it's not he is saying what he knows. He is saying what he wants you to know. He is giving you himself. He's connected etzem to etzem. And that way, you are getting the essence. Not what he knows, but who it is that knows it. This is what he's giving. And this is the pshat, the kadmon. Because that Rav is a kadmon. Now, this is before any seichel, any gilui. This is the reality itself.
What he wants you to know, you said what he wants you to know, and then he's giving you the he that knows.
What he wants you to know. He wants you to know. Who is he? Now there is a kadmon element in this. Not that he wants you to know because never you don't know. He's giving you, way before that, he's giving you the truth prior to you not knowing. You understand what I'm saying? It's not filling a gap. It is giving you you don't even know that you're missing anything. This is where the kadmon element comes in. Just like we say it inside. What I see, this is chitzonius. There's no way that I can see, as I said, everything the way I see it. The reason I see it is because I have the sense inside, and the reason for that sense is, as we said before, because it comes effortlessly, that there is something that's actually coming to me, is showing me this. And I'm relating to that which is to the one who is showing it to me rather than what I'm being shown. This is why sight gives us a real world. Because just to see the physical world, that makes it real. What's the big deal? It shows you the Creator. It's real.
Sort of like the reason why it's a more essential connection when the Rav he's teaching what he wants that person to understand is because it carries with it like his I guess understanding the importance of it, and that it's not just the safe coming up, but it's a sort of Rav's decision.
Yeah, this we explained a lot the other day. The Rotzain, this is his initial Rotzain. This is not a reaction to the Talmud. This is his initial Rotzain. This is the reality, his own reality. So, Adam the Adam atzilus gashmi is not a betzelem. Betzelem of what of Adam.
Can I ask a question?
What?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, let me just complete. Ask betzelem elikim. And therefore, we understand also that Asiyah Ruchnis, his chochmah Adam the atzilus is also betzelem because it goes is Adam the tzura, and then there's Adam briah, and Adam the briah the close. This is Adam kadmon, and this is why it's called betzelem elikim. So in betzelem elikim, betzelem elikim means the kadmon element. Tzelem is not a kadmon. But because this is, as we said, tzura rishena, that means reflective of the atzmi. As we said, what is tzura rishena? Tzura rishena means, should this come to Gilu, this is the tzura that you would have. So it is reflective of what? Not of what it tells it is, but of what it manifests, of what its essence is. The tzura is manifestation of what its essence is. Yes, Shlomo.
I was saying the Muslim, the Rav and the Talmud, that how Talmud doesn't see just the chochmah, what's behind the chochmah, who is hearing it there. It needs to say that what is behind the Rav, what
Wait a
he
second.
sees the Rav before.
He sees the Rav before? What do you say?
Yes, I mean, what does it have to do with the chochmah? I mean, no, but to make it stronger, because he's behind the chochmah stands the Rav. The world we don't see Hashem, so through the world we know that now we see Hashem, but what does it have? What's the source of the chochmah stronger than the chochmah itself?
I'm missing many words, but I'm surmising what you're asking, I'm surmising what you're asking. I'll give you the answer, so to speak. The chochmah that the Rav is mashpia to the Talmud is not a chochmah that is to answer the Talmud's question. It is the chochmah to reflect and to reveal what the Rav is. This is what the chochmah of Rav is. Therefore, let me just step back just for a moment. Chochmah Yisrael, Chachamim from the Gemara, from the Mishnah, from the Tanoim, Amiroim, they called Tanoim HaKdoshim. They use their chochmah to, so to speak, create Torah Shebe'al Peh, or to define Torah Shebe'al Peh. This becomes tzura. And the whole chochmah and the whole Jewish life is based on this tzura. On their chochmah. Because they figured this would be a good way to do it. What does it actually mean? And he said, chochmah is reflective of the nefesh. Their kedusha and their purity was such that their chochmah purely reflected their nefesh, without any obstructions, without any interference of anything else. The nefesh, this is the elokus, this is the Rebbeinu himself. This is the godly truth. We explained many times that the Torah is not a circumstantial directive. Under this circumstance, do this. Lo signev is not just because gneva in this world is disruptive to society. The signev is a mitzvah in the Torah beginning all the way to the top, with the place in the whole phenomenon of gneva is not even possible, as we discussed many times. And the Chacham reflected the truth of their neshama. This is what Chacham is, and this is why it is kadmon. This Chacham is rooted in something that is kadmon, that is before Gilui. Do we have the principle? Like I explained many times, a human being to sit by a table is not a circumstantial reaction to the discomfort of not having a table. In Gan Eden, the Neshamas sit by tables. That's what the Gemara says. Yeah.
Which Gemara?
What does the Rav give over now for the Talmud? He is giving over what's the original source, not the circumstantial thing.
Right. He's giving, as I said, he's giving himself to the Talmud. The reason that he focuses and he wants to be mashpeh is because he wants to, that's what tzura means. He wants to give him the truth as it exists by him. Then he has to be mitzamtzem, he has to put it in Mesholim and so forth. But the initial inyan, what initiates the whole thing, why does he want to be mashpia? What is he teaching him? He's teaching him his truth.
as you speak now after, the universal truth.
It's a godly truth. Is godly a universal truth? Universe doesn't even come in there. Universe is in the world.
Yeah. That the angels sit by the table. He says they're shulchan
I don't know about angels. Well, neshamas sit by the table.
Okay, and the shamas are at the table. So I'm just trying to think. So we have a table down here, but we're saying there's a truth of table that's not about any convenience or inconvenience.
That's absolutely true.
And so above,
זה השולחן אשר לפני השם.
yeah. Now what's okay? Sometimes I think that's like a anthropomorphism. We're kind of giving human qualities to above that don't really exist there. But here we're not saying that.
Excuse me. Where do human qualities come from?
Okay. They come, yeah.
Halawai that we should not lose the human qualities that were imbued in us as human beings. That defines what a human being is.
Right. But, okay. But for me to think that there's souls above sitting at an actual table is not appropriate. But I can think that there's a gathering and they have a platform that they're all at.
The purpose.
That's 1 second. That's 1 second. Sitting at a table.
Yeah.
Sitting at a table. The fact that we have what's called fast food joints. When you pick your whatever it is, your sandwich, and you run into the street. This is be imitating the dog.
Mm-hmm.
This is not us. Remember I told you we discussed the interesting thing that the Maharash, he asked the goy lahavdil, why do you eat? So he said, so that I would live. Right? Remember we discussed this?
Yeah. Right.
And they said, oh, what an insight. And this is only a guy who lives in that courtyard, he has that sense. He eats so that he would live, not so that he wouldn't be hungry.
Mm.
You know the difference? This is a day and night difference. This grabbing of a sandwich and running out in the street is not eaten so that he would live. It is to eat so he wouldn't be hungry. There's no life element in this. There's a human element in this. You're hungry, so you grab a sandwich. Who needs to sit? If he had a sense that he is conscious of his life, and this is something to support his life, he wouldn't run on it. He would sit down by the table. The COVID is on his son. All right, we have to interrupt. Agmach Hasim Atoiva. Tuv.